Of all the mammals alive today, easily one of the most fascinating are the giraffes. From its tall stature to its long neck, many traits of these animals make them unique when compared to other extant mammals. On today's episode of Endangered Inhabitants, we'll be diving into the life of Giraffe reticulata, the reticulated giraffe. Once upon a time, in the distant past of 2015, there was only one species in the genus Giraffe, that being the giraffe, Giraffe camelopardalis, with 9 recognized subspecies. Those being the Kordofan, Nubian, West African, Rothschild, Thornycroft, Angolan, South African, Maasai, and, of course, the reticulated giraffes. However, a 2016 study found that there were actually 4 species in the genus Giraffe. The Maasai and reticulated giraffes got the upgrade to fully fledged species, with the northern and southern giraffes being added to the fold for the first time as new combatants. These species are only distantly related, not having exchanged genetic information for at least 1 million years. As the second tallest land mammal, the reticulated giraffe only loses out to another species of giraffe. Males range in between 4.8 to 5.5 meters, or 16 to 18 feet in height, while weighing as much as 1,900 kilos, or 4,200 pounds. Females reach a more modest 4.3 to 4.8 meters, or 14 to 16 feet in height, while tipping the scales at around 1,180 kilos, or 2,600 pounds. The most famous feature of the giraffe is obviously their neck. Sporting the longest neck of any animal, it actually has the same amount of vertebrae as the human neck, that being 7. These vertebrae are just way longer, each having their own ball and socket joints. There are several possible theories as to why the neck became so long, as it is a recent evolutionary development. These include feeding on trees out of reach of competing herbivores, sexual selection, which is a common reason for most of the craziest adaptations in the animal kingdom, and serving to give the animal greater vigilance as it looks for food and threats. Their legs are also freakishly long, like mine. With front legs longer than their back legs, all 4 of these limbs can deliver a kick that could decapitate a lion. Their feet are also known as hooves, having 2 digits. They can use these legs to gallop up to 56 kilometers per hour or 35 miles per hour for short distances. The freakiest part of a giraffe's body is their long black prehensile tongue used to grab food and bring it back to the maw. It is thought that the black color is a kind of sunscreen, with the tongue having thick covering that can withstand the thorns of the acacia trees that they love to nibble on. Native to East Africa, reticulated giraffes can be found in Kenya, Somalia, and Ethiopia. Kenya being home to the bulk of the population, with populations in Somalia and Ethiopia only being enclaves in comparison. They favor acacia-dotted savannas, arid woodlands, and seasonal floodplains when it comes to habitat, but will also live in semi-deserts, steppes, and open forests if necessary. As long as food is present, they'll live there. Giraffes of all kinds are herbivorous, browsing primarily on leaves, shoots, and shrubs. Their favorite treats and primary food source are leaves of the acacia tree, which are normally protected by sharp thorns. They use that long tongue of theirs to wrap around and strip branches of their leaves to bring them back for swallowing down their mile-long throats. This then brings the food to their 4-chambered stomach. As ruminants, they have foregut fermentation. They will swallow, then bring the half-digested food, now known as cud, back up that long neck to chew it some more. This means they require less food compared to other herbivores of a similar size, as the foliage they eat has more concentrated nutrients, along with sporting the more efficient digestive system. Relatively social animals, reticulated giraffes live in loosely formed groups of between 3 to 9 individuals, this behavior being known as fission-fusion dynamics. Kinship between females typically makes the foundation of a group, with the group being composed of mothers and children. Male giraffes have even more extensive social networks that aren't as enduring. They can be solitary as they roam widely across landscapes looking for receptive females to mate with, but make social connections with any other giraffes they encounter on their travels, be it male or otherwise. When a dominant male finds a female in estrus, he will do the nasty and guard her from other males. If 2 males do come to blows, they will put those necks to use in a behavior known as, and I'm not making this up, Necking, where they will wind up their necks and use the horn-like ossicones on their head to hit each other. After these duels, it is common for the two male combatants to caress and court each other. Like what me and the boys do in a bar fight, yeah. These interactions are found to be more common than heterosexual couplings. In one study, it was found that 94% of mounting incidents took place between males, with the proportion varying from 35 to 75%. These animals are quite gay. Reticulated giraffes are diel, meaning they are active during both the day and the night. They are most active during the early and late parts of the day, like dawn, dusk, and midnight. Oddly, a lot of bigger animals don't require much sleep, with giraffes being no exception, with these giraffes having short sleeping patterns, consisting of no more than a couple hour standing up nap a day. While some think giraffes are mute, this just isn't the case. Giraffes can communicate using snorts, sneezes, coughs, soars, hisses, bursts, moan, grunts, growls, hums, and even flute-like noises if they're feeling it. They commonly use scents and body language as well. Once the nasty is completed and a new giraffe is in the oven, gestation takes around 400 to 460 days. After that period is over, the mother will give birth standing up, for the most violent wake-up call for any baby in the animal kingdom. Adults are pretty safe from predation, only having to worry about lions in large numbers. Calves are much more vulnerable as they are preyed on by the aforementioned lions, leopards, spotted hyenas, and African wild dogs. Reticulated giraffes are listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List. It is thought that there are around 9,000 to 11,000 left in the wild. The greatest threat reticulated giraffes face is habitat destruction. This includes conversion to agricultural land, infrastructure projects, and general urban development which can lead to land degradation. With most of the population in Kenya, a developing country with over 50 million people, more and more pressure is being placed on the species with an already limited range. Habitat fragmentation is also a massive concern. Infrastructure projects in the region, like Trans-African Highway 4, which passes right through the center of the reticulated giraffe's range, runs through multiple protected areas. Crossing these roadways is dangerous, with animals rather not taking the risk, cutting a population in two. As with seemingly all charismatic megafauna, poaching is an everlasting threat. Giraffes are hunted mainly for their meat, as they do have a lot on their bones, for the illegal bushmeat trade, but also for their pelts, bones, hair, and tails. Giraffe hairs can be used to make jewelry, and their tails can be highly valued by some cultures. Hunters use snares, guns, and other weapons to sell their parts, as they themselves usually live in extreme poverty. This makes it extremely tempting for them to poach without a reliable source of income in the region. While what they do isn't right, the poachers themselves shouldn't be demonized, as they are normally desperate people trying to feed their families. Demonize the people on top of the ladder that are buying these parts and making this hogwash possible. I would like to thank each and every one of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. If you like what you see, then hit the like and subscribe buttons and leave a comment. I'll be trying to get these videos out as much as possible, so leave a request if there's an endangered species you want covered. The weirder the better, baby. Alright, see y'all later. Peace!